If there's one thing I didn't say about Fire Force Season 1, just yesterday whenever I made that video after I finished it, it was that the comedy, oh my gosh, the comedy. It's the comedy. I can't get this shit fucking right. If there's one thing I didn't say about Fire Force Season 1, Take 2, it's that the comedy in the show is actually very, very, very tasteful. And when I say that, I mean it's not the same comedy that we typically get in a shonen, and if it is, it's presented in a very tasteful manner to where, like, it's so meta. The characters are self-aware. Shinra's not an idiot. I mean, I'm talking about Hinawa dressing up like a bunny in cargo shorts and running shorts and in a stupid hat that said nudist. But I love how self-aware the characters are of even like some of the traits of the other characters. Like a lot of shows, like they catch on to that kind of stuff and they just kind of make fun of them from afar. And now actually seeing like shenanigans take place with among the companies and Company 8's like members, it's kind of fun and it adds some camaraderie among the group. And I'm glad that was actually here in today's episode because it's something that I was actually looking for. I was looking for more of like something to tie this group together, and I'm hoping season 2 really does tie them together because I'm waiting for that camaraderie. I've seen it, but I'm waiting for that thing that really seals the deal for me with the show and the characters and their connections and their chemistry. I mean, just think about it. Just now in episode 25 of season, or 24 of season 1, the finale episode of season 1, we were just seeing like some of the characters like Maki get in on the action and Tamaki and all these, characters that didn't do much before. They're really just kind of sideline characters that are just there for conversations at time. So it's cool to see this episode, hit that comedy though again, especially with like the whole nude calendar thing. That was absolutely hilarious. Power, Cobra, Devil Cobra, they're winning this shit this year. No, but I really did enjoy, this episode for that. And we know next week, based off the preview, we're getting right into the thick of things. And hey, us who've seen Fire Force, season 1, first 24 episodes, we know this show does not mess around. Whenever it gets going, it doesn't stop. The show doesn't stop once it gets going. So I'm glad to see this actually happening once again. I'm glad to see that episode 2, they're not going to play games. We had a little intro episode, had a little fun with the characters, and they're back, right? It was just, today's episode was saying, hey, the characters are back. Season 2's back, guys. Welcome back. Characters, welcome back. And that was part of what they did with the fight scenes. That's why they did reintroduce each individual character as if someone didn't, see the show. They were doing that in order to allow people to get into the show, and even though it's only gone for like 6 months, they're letting us reintroduce the characters and make sure we don't forget their names, probably. Hey, reviewers like me, we love names. For name's sake, it's so hard to remember all these names. I enjoy that. I'm not going to say, hey, hat off for that shit. But no, it was good for, people who haven't seen the show, and now they can go back and, catch up. So with that scene, though, and that being said, I would like to say that the fight scene was actually awesome. Not just because of the animation aspect, but it just shows you like the teamwork, the chemistry, where some of the characters have come. And it's something that allows us to show more than just animation. It allows you to show some chemistry of characters or team, Squad A, right? It allows you to show that this show is not just animation and fighting and saying ooh and ah. It's allowing you to say, hey, there's strategic to this. Like, there's strategies to these fight scenes. There's more to this than a typical shonen. And I adore that. If you bring me this kind of animation and then on top of that, you also bring me strategic fight scenes, then I'm going to adore that. I mean, let's take a look back at this past season, man. We had the Rekka and of course Shinra fight. He knew that Rekka was either just as powerful in terms of his strength and or he was slightly stronger than Shinra. So Shinra knew he had speed and he used the the setting of the fight and all these kind of things to help beat him. They use the things around them. They use their abilities to what best fits the scenario and the setting. And that's something that shows don't typically do. I mean, think about that. We have Naruto. We have Attack on Titan. We take a look at a show like Bleach. I love Bleach, but Bleach is not necessarily the most strategic show. And I adore Bleach. And Bleach's fights are so good for other reasons, right? They tell stories. There's reasons to it. There's other things that, other shows don't do. My Hero Academia is a perfect example of how you do a strategy fight scene. Fairy Tail is not always about strategy, but there's shows out there that have these high animation budgets at times, and they don't necessarily have these strategic fight scenes. And even if they're not the most strategic, if you add strategy and you make it all make sense, it means something. It adds depth to that fight. I'm going to remember that fight for more than just that awesome animation, more than just that awesome, massive explosion. I'm going to remember it for other things. There's two things you can do in a fight. Either tell a story or you can ooh and ah people to animation. And if you're just ooh and ah people to animation, maybe at some time it will get boring. And this show doesn't do that. I'm really happy to see that. I know I kind of went on a tangent there, but I really just kind of wanted to get that out. So also in this episode, the opening. I mean, a lot of people are going to be talking about the opening of the show. And I like the opening. I adore the opening. I think musically it's beautiful. And visually, if you didn't catch it, it looks like Joker and Artie Burns, Captain One, maybe father and son.